Good day, gentlemen. This is SwashbucklingSir here, and today we critique PayDay 2, the premier online co-op first-person bag-throwing simulator.
There's the entrance. Don't pussyfoot around. Knock that front door down. Fucking nice one.
In PayDay 2, you play one of 4 criminals with the aim to conduct all kinds of heists, ranging from pilfering jewelry stores, robbing banks, breaking into armored transports, cooking meth while defending from an unreasonable amount of police officers, up to thefts that span several days. While there are some fragmented storylines within certain heists throughout the game, there's no clear overarching narrative, and honestly, I personally did not miss it at all, as conducting grand larceny is entertaining and therefore reason enough to keep me interested. In terms of graphical fidelity, the game does not manage to knock my socks off, especially considering games like Crysis came along 6 years before PayDay 2 was released. Nonetheless, the realistic setting is represented really well, and while PayDay 2 might not be the best looking first-person game in recent years, it still managed to look quite decent. What I personally particularly like about the graphics are the small humorous attentions to detail, and the bucket load of Easter eggs scrambled throughout the game. As for the sound design, my dear viewers, you probably know by now that I'm an old metalhead, and with that said, I'm really glad to say that some of the tracks are simply fantastic. I sincerely believe that this might be amongst the best fast-paced electro background music I've ever heard, and it should be considered a crime to not buy the soundtrack with a game. Have a listen.
Hostage rescue units are going in.
Purely amazing. Let us delve into the gameplay of PayDay 2. There are 2 general ways of approaching most heists. First, going in loud, shooting your way through the enemies to accomplish your task. And second, the stealthy path. The silent approach varies immensely from mission to mission. For example, if a lot of civilians are involved, as is the case for robbing the jewelry store, there are usually a manageable amount of guards which can be disposed at the edges of the perimeter before rushing into the store to tie all civilians before any of them can call the police, and thus allowing you all the time in the world to relieve the store from their valuables. On missions with no or only very few civilians, there are usually more guards than you can handle. Therefore, avoiding their patrolling routes becomes essential. One particularly outstanding burglary is the Shadow Raid mission, which does not allow any alarm to be triggered, else the heist ends in failure, and thus everyone is really tense when slowly crawling about the place trying to find and secure the precious loot. Especially when suddenly in the end a guard jumps you just around the corner, the last pager goes off, and you frantically try to secure the final loot bag just to barely complete the mission. These agitated moments quickly turn into excitement, and even after 70 hours of playtime, I'm still interested in approaching levels differently, exploring all possible options, and overall enjoy my experience wholeheartedly. On all other missions where stealth is an option, once detected there is always the possibility to continue playing, usually with some additional annoyances, which make your job a bit harder while carrying out the loud approach. After the police has been alarmed of your presence, depending on your chosen difficulty, waves of police officers, SWAT or even FBI units start making your life a menace, turning PayDay 2 into something of a horde mode game. Where PayDay 2 shines is the design of the missions and the partial randomization of the level. When completing heists, there are an array of different tasks you have to go through, not only revolving around waiting for a particular drill to finish. Other examples of duties are cooking meth by supplying the correct order of chemicals, or finding and analyzing DNA samples. These tasks always force you to go out of your way, relocating to different positions of the map, and constantly keep the game interesting as you need to cope with the different angles where the police are attacking you from. Additionally, the aforementioned randomization changes some small parts of the level layout by changing whether some doors are open or closed, or even at different positions entirely. These small changes are enough to keep you intrigued, similarly to your wife or girlfriend changing her lingerie. After completing a robbery, the whole crew is awarded with money, experience, and one of 3 random cards, which can hold new masks, additional money or experience, and weapon modifications. With your increasing level, you earn skill points that you can invest in 5 different skill trees that offer you small benefits at first, like carrying bags faster, and huge profits later on, like reviving a teammate instantly without standing next to him. These trees are significantly different from each other and allow you to customize your experience to your liking. This expands to the weapons as well. Most weapons have an immense selection of possible modifications, which enable these tools of mass murder to adapt to your playstyle. For example, focusing on low accuracy but higher stability for close quarter combat, or the opposite for taking out these pesky snipers. All in all, these customization options are impressive and tie in so very well in keeping you engaged and interested while playing Payday 2. Sadly, not everything is hunky-dory. There are a few bugs here and there where your detection meter does not disappear, or civilians spawn off the level edges and notice you sounding the alarm and thus breaking the stealth mission. Also, when trying to find a game, especially as a lower level player, it can be hard since loads of servers mostly kick you quite frequently, because they just assume you've never done the heist before. Therefore, I recommend either hosting your own or, even better, playing Payday 2 with a couple of friends. Even just one friend is enough to kickstart a server, as people are much more likely to join a match that is already half filled. My group of friends and I have started playing just recently, and we all universally had a blast playing as a team, and will probably continue to do so at least for a couple of more hours of game time. I personally have not even seen all missions played out in all of their possible approaches yet, and that is after 70 hours of gameplay. Suffice to say, Payday 2 offers an incredible amount of content, and if you have the slightest compassion for co-op first-person shooters like Left 4 Dead, you should most definitely give Payday 2 a whirl. It should come to no surprise that Payday 2 receives the SwashbucklingSir acclaim badge. I'm SwashbucklingSir. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for watching. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great day. Goodbye.